1. Ecological and climate regulation. Forests are often called the lungs of the earth, and are the most important natural solution we have for environmental stability. Carbon sequestration, climate mitigation, trees act as massive carbon sinks. 1.5, 3.1. Through photosynthesis, they absorb enormous amounts of carbon dioxide, CO2, from the atmosphere and store the carbon in their wood, leaves, and soil. 1.4, 3.5. Forests absorb about 2.6 billion tons of CO2 annually, roughly one-third of the CO2 released from fossil fuels. 1.4. Preserving and restoring them is critical to limiting global warming. 1.3. Air purification. Forests help clean the air we breathe by trapping pollutants, dust, and particulate matter on their leaves and bark. 2.1. They also produce oxygen. 2.4. Biodiversity hotspots. Forests contain over 80% of the world's terrestrial biodiversity, providing habitat for millions of species of animals, plants, fungi, and microorganisms. 1.1, 1.4, 1.5. Protecting these ecosystems is vital for maintaining the planet's genetic richness and resilience. 2.3. 2. Water cycle and natural hazard mitigation. Forests play a role similar to a giant, complex sponge, managing the flow and quality of water across landscapes. Clean water supply, filtration. Forested watersheds are the source of 75% of the world's accessible freshwater. 1.4. The forest floor and soil act as a natural filter, cleaning water as it slowly percolates down, removing pollutants, sediment, and toxins before the water recharges streams and groundwater. 4.2, 4.4. Water regulation and rainfall. Trees draw water from the soil and release it into the atmosphere as vapor through transpiration. 4.1. This process creates clouds, which drive weather patterns and ensure rainfall, including flying rivers, that carry moisture deep into continental interiors. 4.3. Flood and erosion control. Tree roots bind the soil together, making it stable and preventing soil erosion and landslides. 1.4, 2.2. The forest canopy and dense root systems slow down rainfall runoff, helping to moderate river flows and reduce the severity and frequency of floods and droughts. 4.3, 4.4. 3. Benefits for human health and livelihoods. The health of forests is directly linked to the health and prosperity of people globally. Human health. Exposure to nature and forests has been linked to reduced risks of cardiovascular diseases, chronic respiratory diseases, and better mental health. 1.2. By preventing habitat loss, healthy forests also help reduce the risk of infectious disease outbreaks, like zoonotic diseases. 1.1, 1.2. Livelihoods and resources. More than 1.6 billion people rely on forests for their livelihoods. 1.1. They provide essential resources like timber and wood products for construction, furniture, and paper. 2.5. Non-timber forest products, NTFPs, including food, wild mushrooms, berries, wild game, medicinal plants, ginseng, etc., honey, and resins. 1.5, 2.5. Fuel. Approximately 2 billion people depend on wood fuel for cooking and heating. 1.1. Soil nurturing. Forests stabilize soils and are home to soil microbes, which enrich and maintain soil quality by decomposing organic matter into nutrient-rich humus. 1.5, 2.2. In summary, forests are non-negotiable for human survival, providing the basic necessities of clean air, clean water, a stable climate, and the complex web of life that makes Earth habitable. The far-reaching consequences of fire. Fires, whether accidental or natural, leave behind a devastating trail that extends far beyond the immediate flames. The consequences are multifaceted, impacting the environment, the economy, and human well-being on both immediate and long-term scales. Environmental devastation. The most visible impact is the sheer destruction of ecosystems. Wildfires rapidly consume forests, grasslands, and habitats, leading to the loss of countless plant and animal species. This sudden biodiversity loss can fundamentally alter an area's ecology for decades. Furthermore, the heat and smoke release vast amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, significantly contributing to air pollution and climate change. Following the blaze, the soil is often left bare and hydrophobic, water-repelling, dramatically increasing the risk of soil erosion and catastrophic landslides during subsequent rainfall. The ash and debris can also contaminate nearby water sources, harming aquatic life. Economic and infrastructure ruin. On an economic level, the costs are staggering. Property damage to homes, businesses, and essential infrastructure, like power lines, roads, and communication networks, can run into the billions. Industries reliant on natural resources, particularly forestry and agriculture, suffer massive production losses that can take years to recover from. Additionally, the substantial resources required for firefighting operations, recovery, and rehabilitation strain public budgets, often diverting funds from other critical services. The long-term costs also include reduced tourism revenue and increased insurance premiums. Human and social impact. Ultimately, the most tragic consequence is the toll on human life. Fires can result in fatalities, severe burns, and respiratory illnesses caused by smoke inhalation. Beyond the physical harm, the displacement of communities and the loss of homes and possessions lead to profound psychological trauma. People experience grief, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. The loss of livelihood and community stability can create deep social disruption, necessitating extensive and long-lasting support systems to help people rebuild their lives. In conclusion, a fire is not an isolated incident, it is a catalyst for a cascading series of negative outcomes. Addressing the threat of fire requires a holistic approach that focuses not only on prevention and suppression but also on effective long-term recovery strategies to mitigate the wide-ranging environmental, economic, and social fallout. Bu metan, yangan sonuklurini, farklı baslaklar altında la alarak akici ve bilgilendiriciye bir anladım